Welcome, everyone. Kia ora. Thanks for joining us. Christine, do you want to kick it off? How do you handle stress?
There's no really just one way to handle stress. Everyone just deals with it differently, and that's completely okay as long as it's not self-destructing or something. First off is getting off my phone, getting off social media. I just call one of my friends and just rant. And I tell them, I don't need advice, I just need you to listen to me, lend me your ears, and that's it.
You would not believe what happened to me today.
Girl, I just cried today. Again.
Yeah, I love that. What about you, Charlie?
Honestly, I don't actually know how to handle stress yet.
And that's okay, that's okay.
If I really think about it, it'll just be being with my parents. That's all I want to do when I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
You don't need many people to be there, keep you grounded. As long as there's just that one person that you can talk to, it always makes everything better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. It's your journey is like a team effort. It takes a village to raise a child, so it takes a lot of people. It's not just yourself. Even if it's one person, it's also a quality over quantity. You got to figure out who's really going to be there for you when you're going through rough times. Right now, because I'm lucky, on the back of my house, on the back end, we've got a porch area. So I just go out there and chill for a bit. And seeing blue and green therapeutic spaces can be really relieving. And it can be nice just to be present, feeling your surroundings, that sort of thing. That helps me get back in touch with who I am and just make sure I'm okay. Just realizing it might not happen right now, but in the long term, everything should turn out okay.
Christine, what do you think are the main 2 or 3 things that you stress about? Top line.
Future.
Future?
Studies.
Studies.
What other people think about me.
That's massive, eh? What other people do you use?
Of course.
I overthink that every day.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. All the time. And why do I care?
That's the other point.
Yeah,
why do we care so much? You know,
it's the social media construct of it all.
Yeah. What about you though, Charlie? What are the top 2 or 3 things you stress about?
My body and my friends.
Okay.
I know when the stress leaves, it'll go away.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of getting that stress to go away to the point where I'm actually comfortable again.
What about you, Matthew? What are some of the things that you stress about?
Probably in the present, stressed about financials. Money is an issue, but it could be an issue. And just the overthinking of oh my gosh, my job could go tomorrow. With COVID and lockdown and everything, no one has that ontological security of their property or their job and their income and their salary, and it can be a bit daunting and scary, especially as a young person, because you're looking at the world oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do now? And then, so those are the type of things I stress about at the moment.
But it's those moments of overcoming that stress that make us who we are. You're oh, I just did it. Okay, what's next? Oh no, I'm stressing about that. I don't want to do that. But then you do it, you turn up for those moments, and I think they kind of make, or they add to our character.
What's unique to you that helps you deal with your stress, do you think?
Whenever I'm stressed, I take a deep breath and I analyze it again with more clarity and I can't really pour out of an empty cup, can I? So I have to kind of take care of myself first, handle my stress before I can become I don't know, a shoulder to lean on for someone else.
I don't know, do you guys watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
Oh yeah. No.
Well, what does RuPaul say all the time? She always says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get amen up in here? And everyone goes, amen. But it's true.
And you also can't be telling people to love themselves if you don't know how to do that, you know what I mean?
Right.
You kind of gotta practice what you preach.
Yeah, hard.
It's
Otherwise you're a fraud. No.
Well, it's us talking about self-care. None of us actually self-care. We're But the other thing is people will know, they'll be oh, they're not really talking about you, So that's the other thing is you can pick up on.
Tony, do you want to start us off and what are the top 2 or 3 things you do to handle your stress?
The first part is I just kind of stop and acknowledge that I'm stressed and figure out what it is that I'm stressing and then figuring out a way to get through that. And then kind of what you were talking about, you and Charlie, is finding ways to hold yourself accountable to getting through that, But even that for me, holding myself accountable can be very hard. You know, like
It's another
I kinda-
stress.
there's the process of actually the accountability part. Man,
Yeah.
it's like the conversations in the head. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, it's all good. Nah, you don't have to. Nah, you don't have to do it.
A long hot shower
Nice.
alleviates all stress I have. It's just so good. And then freshly dried sheets.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Just gives me
That's bomb.
euphoric
Cozy.
energy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At the moment, it's sitting in bed with my sister watching Gilmore Girls at like
Love
11
that.
o'clock at night. It's so good.
I like that unwinding. That's really
Yeah.
cool. What about you, Matthew?
Talking a lot, getting everything off my chest. Also, yeah, walks help a lot too. Probably one of the number one things I've been doing lately would be meditating though. That helps a lot. Just mindfulness. Just chucking on some like ambient music. I know it
Yeah.
sounds like cliche, but
No,
just
but
like-
it's cool. It works for some people, right? Yeah.
yeah, and it just helps me just focus. And then sometimes you need to take a break from the problem and then come back to it later. And then you might come up with a solution when you come back to it. So taking your time with things is important.
No matter where you sit in the age spectrum or culture or ethnicity or what you identify as, we all are going through similar things. It's like when we were all like, yeah, we all care about what other people think, but we also thought, but why?
Yeah, we
who
were all
cares?
like,
You know,
why should we care?
But the thing is, so there's lots of similarities and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just thank you. I've taken so much from this convo today, so it's awesome.